All right. And I am adding you in here.
Yep, we are live.
So I will just double check everyone. Thanks for bearing with me. Awesome. Okay, we are live. Woohoo! So I have Dr. Terri Levine here with me today. I actually met her through this virtual conference that I hosted last year. She's a wealth of information. She is a business consultant, author. She's also a keynote speaker, and I love everything that she represents. She's a wealth of knowledge. So I asked her to come into our community here and really just talk about mindset, because I'm noticing just a lot of consultants that I work with, other entrepreneurs, other, women in business, and also just moms right now who are juggling homeschooling and working multiple jobs and carrying all this weight. It really comes back down to mindset when we're feeling stressed, when we're feeling like our health is failing, when we're feeling overwhelmed. So I want to just introduce you, Dr. Terri. Thank you so much for being here. And if you want to share a little bit more about yourself, and then we'll dive in.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. Thanks, Lindsay. So as Lindsay said, I'm Terri Levine. I've been a business consultant for 27 years, worked with about 6,000 people, helping them scale their businesses and to get a conveyor belt of qualified prospects. And I've written a whole bunch of books, 47 books. My latest one is called Turbocharge Your Business for Women Entrepreneurs. And today we're going to start with the inner game. Get your mindset right so your business can grow, your life can grow, your relationships can grow, your health and well-being can grow. It's all about starting from the inside.
Yeah, and I think it's like regardless of where you're at, like the same principles are the same. It's like, are you wanting to start a family? Mindset, right? Like there's the inner game. Are you wanting to start a business? Are you wanting to be more intimate or connected, or really just begin to thrive, as we've been in this pandemic for over a year? And I know so many of us are just itching to kind of like revamp how we were showing up before and really, start to feel good again. So let's just dive in. So what I really wanted to talk with you about, because we've talked about this before in my virtual conference, is mindset. So why don't you just dive into what that means to you and the first pillar?
Great. So I am going to share 3 pillars. And for me, mindset is everything. And the biggest problem that I see out there in the world as a business consultant, as a clinical psychologist, as a positive psychologist, is that when you don't have this right, nothing else actually happens. And you don't know that you don't have this right if you're not thinking about it. So today we're going to think about it. And I'm going to give you a question that I call a writer downer, which means I recommend you write it down. And that question is, what is working? What is working? As human beings, we are very focused on problems. We're very happy to go on Facebook and tell people all of our problems and all of our woes and pray for me and, this happened and that happened. And we walk around subconsciously having our brain try to solve problems. It's kind of the old cave person thing, fight or flight. So the brain is constantly going, where's the problem? Where's the problem? We got to keep this being safe. You have to train your brain to constantly ask what is working. So just as an example, I was carrying my very, very favorite vase from one room to the other. It slipped out of my hand. Yes, it fell on the hardwood floor, and yes, it broke. I could have gotten hysterical. I could have focused on how that's my favorite vase, whatever. I went, what is working? What is working is I have about 20 other vases. What is working is I can quickly sweep this up, and it's flowers and a vase. No one got hurt. So you get yourself to reframe and refocus and pivot quickly with that question, what is working? Does that make sense, Lindsay?
Absolutely. I love that. And one thing I do is I just have a little journal one in my office and one by my nightstand. And, like I know people talk about a gratitude practice, but it's very similar. Like, what can we write down where it was like, yeah, this was a win today. And it could be something really minor, like you said, where it's like shifting like perhaps what could be viewed as a negative experience into a positive, or really start to focus on, okay, what am I winning at today? Like, what is working for me? And you're right, it does. It really shifts our mindset around appreciation over expectation, gratitude, and really like stopping the self beat up that so many women in particular experience, because we do juggle a lot, wear many hats, and I think we often feel like we're failing. So just to kind of change that mindset, I think is really powerful.
So really important. And believe it or not, that question is really the framework of getting you to constantly bring yourself back, bring yourself back. As human beings, we have monkey minds. The mind jumps from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. And the majority of our thoughts, when they really study our thinking, happen to be, quote, negative, if you use that terminology. So it's up to you to take control of this and to constantly bring it back to what is working, what is working. And because I've done it so frequently for decades, like 20 something years, when I tend to go, because I'm human, into the, oh, this isn't good, this is broken, I instantly now reframe and reshift without having to be very conscious of it, right? We can talk about a million things that aren't quite right yet in the pandemic, or we can say, what is working? Well, I've gotten to spend a lot more time with my husband, a lot more time in my house, getting it organized, a lot more time eating healthy meals and cooking and preparing them. I can go on instead of focusing on the things that I'm missing out in the world because I can't change that just yet. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. All right. I know we just have a few more minutes. We had some technical difficulties, which is also right. Like, what is working? Like, I got to troubleshoot with Dr. Terri before having more interviews later today. So thank you for that. So the second one is an acronym that I would love to hear more about what that looks like.
Perfect. So it's called GID, GID. And this definitely makes a huge difference. I have thousands of client testimonials about this. First thing, G stands for gratitude. Lindsay already alluded to it. Every single day, find at least 3 to 5 things, no matter how small they are, that you're grateful for. Write them down. It goes in a gratitude journal. I stands for intentions, not a to-do list. How do you intend to experience your day? My intention today was easy, effortless, joyful, and fun. So while we had a technical difficulty, we both stayed present, we laughed, we did our research, and we fixed it. My intention matched Lindsay's intention of just making things joyful and easy. D is delegation. And again, I'm not talking about a to-do list or giving it to someone. I'm talking about when you don't know the how, like we didn't know how to fix something, I delegate it to the universe. Hey, universe, go figure this out. I don't know quite how to have this happen. So GID, gratitude, intentions, delegations.
I love it. Yeah. And we're like, so this is the thing. I don't know Dr. Terri very well. Like, we're in each other's groups, like we're on each other's lists, and we connected through this conference. And I'm doing a lot of these things. So, for example, gratitude, of course, like absolutely, that's part of what is working, I think, right? To continue to just shift that focus. Intention. So every morning I ask myself, what am I committed to creating today? So it looks different, but it's intentionality. And today I know mine, because I reground and remind myself of my intention, was joy, connection, and ease. So ours were very similar,
Not
right?
surprised. Yeah.
And delegation, same thing. I learned that from Kate Northrup, which I believe she said is she got from Abraham Hicks, right? So all teachings are just our evolution of what the person who has come before us figured out. And I haven't done that in a while with the universe to-do list, but it's like I trust that this will get figured out. Like, I am calling in support. Just putting that out there, you'll start to realize how much support is around you. So thank you for those reminders.
You're welcome.
Powerful. Now I have an acronym to remind myself. And then also the third one, which I think all gets kind of gelled together around, like, it's kind of like muscle memory. Like, it doesn't just happen once. It's kind of the vibe I'm getting from your third pillar. So go ahead and share.
Yeah, the third pillar is, many people go to a gym or they work out or they go for a walk and they're taking care of their physical body. However, not as many people make taking care of their brain and their mindset a priority. Your brain is a muscle. Your mindset needs to be worked out every single day. I started doing that at 13. At 15, I became religious about it. And that's a lot of years between now and then. I work on my mind every single day. So if you're not doing that, You want to start doing that and getting yourself in the right frame of mind and training your brain. And by the way, as a speech language pathologist who specialized in Alzheimer's for many, many years, if you don't work your brain is not going to stay with you. Start working out your brain every single day.
Yeah, and this actually really hits home for me because my father-in-law passed away from early onset dementia at 59 a couple of years ago.
Oh, wow.
And actually, right when I met my husband, he like his dad had just been diagnosed. So I actually came into his life like right at the beginning of that 5-year, progression of the disease. And so I am a huge proponent of my husband, who also played football and has had concussions. And now, like it's definitely crosses my mind. So, we're talking, how can we lubricate the brain? Like avocados, MCT oil, like what are things he can do from a mindset perspective? And it's like, I want to be proactive in helping people take care of their brain from a nutrition standpoint, but also in how they show up every single day, because like I've seen what it does to people and their health and their families. And it's a really scary disease, and there's still a lot of unknowns there. So I believe I'm going to reach out to you after and be like, is there anything else we can do?
Yeah, there are things to do. I'd be happy to share 100%.
Yeah, and I can give a follow up. And yeah, I think I just want to close with like you said, the brain is a muscle, and it's just as important, if not the most important piece, is the mindset first, and then everything else follows. So I'm actually going to share your Facebook group. You have a very engaged, you're such a giver in your group. I'll share the link below here.
Awesome.
And I'm also going to be coming into your community next month. It's May 20th. And we're just going to continue to help serving and kind of overlapping our expertise. Is there anything you want to share before we jump off?
No, I'll let you go. I just want to say you're welcome to, when you join the group, introduce yourself, tell a little bit about yourself. There's like 5,700 people in there that would be really interested. So we look forward to having more folks.
Absolutely. And that's part of what is working. Link up and join other communities where it's not spewing negativity and politics and COVID and arguing, where it's actually people up leveling who are choosing what's working, who are choosing joy. And I'm all about that. And I know my community is too. Thank you, Dr. Terri. I hope this was helpful. Drop the comments below what you learned.